Sapurya Sukhamasate Apina Suhrida Tata Apina Suhridastata Bandhava Krishna Devata Drishtaha Srutava Yadavaha Shapuryam Sukhamasate Api na Suhridastata Bandhava Krishna Devata Drishta Srutava Yadava Shapurya Sukhamasate. Anybody else? Api, whether, naha, our, Suhridaha, well-wishers, Tat, O my uncle, Bandhava, friends, Krishna Devata, those who are always wrapped in the service of Lord Sri Krishna. Drishtaha, by seeing them. Shruta, or hearing about them. Va, either. Jadavaha, the descendant of Jadu. Sapuryam, along with their residential palace. Sukhamasate, if they are all happy. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My uncle you must have visited Dwarika. In that holy place are our friends and well-wisher, the descendant of Jadu, who are always wrapped in the service of Lord Sri Krishna. You might have seen them or heard about them. Are they all living happily in their abodes? Purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The particular word Krishna Devataha, those who are always wrapped in the service of Lord Krishna, is very significant. The Jadava and the Pandavas were always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna and his different transcendental activities. We are all devotees of Lord Krishna like Vidura. Vidura left home in order to devote himself completely to the service of the Lord. But the Pandavas and Jadavas were always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna. Thus, there is no difference in their pure devotional service, either remaining at home or leaving home. The real qualification of a pure devotee is to become wrapped in the thought of Krishna favorably, etc. For example, knowing well that Lord Krishna is the absolute personality of Godhead, Kansa, Jarasandha, Sisupal, and other demons like them were also wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna, but they were observed in a different way, namely unfavorably, or thinking him to be a powerful man only. Therefore, Kansa and Sisupal are not on the same level as pure devotees like Vidura, the Pandavas, and Jadavas. Maharaj Yudhishthir was also always wrapped in thought of Lord Krishna and his associate at Dwarika. Otherwise, he could not have asked all about them from Vidura. Maharaj Yudhishthir was therefore on the same level of devotion as Vidura, although engaged in the state affairs of the kingdom of the world. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Janimilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschadivstarane. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So the class goes up to what time? 8:30. Okay. I don't want to be, I started late, so I don't want to be late in finishing. So I like to thank the management of this temple for so wonderfully organizing everything first class. Especially, I thank Sarang Thakur Prabhu and others. From the time I have come here, I am hearing wonderful glories. And a Kirtaniya, one who leads Kirtana to give class, for them in Kali Yuga, sound system is most important. I find the sound system first class here. One can hear from anywhere. In India, it takes some time to adjust it, right? It makes noise. Sometimes they turn the volume too high, then makes sound. Sometimes too low, then your throat will start paining, like that. But here somehow or other, you have adjusted such a nicely that everybody can hear from all corners. Thank you very much once again. So, this Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana, Amala Purana, it has 12th canto and 10 subject matters are described. The first canto is the introduction. An introduction leads up to the purpose. Why this Bhagavatam is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. So these are some of the chapter which is building up to the point. So this particular chapter describes Vidura returning to Hastinapur with a purpose. And then purpose was, for a devotee of the Lord, their purpose is only one. Jare dekho tare kaha Krishna upadesh. Wherever they go, they like to preach about Krishna consciousness. Vidura was already doing all those things, but he had returned with a goal, with a purpose. And then purpose was that he wanted his dear brother, whom he loved the most, Dhritarashtra, a friend and minister of Dhritarashtra, Vidura, he wanted him that he should get out of the house, and now, towards the end of his life, he should succeed his life. As Sukadeva Goswami says, the perfection of life in second canto is Janmalabha Parapunsa Antah Narayana Smriti. The perfection of life is that we should be able to remember Lord Narayan at the time of death. That is the perfection. So Vidura wanted to help Dhritarashtra. Detachment comes in two ways. One, it comes on our own. Other comes by the help of other. Yah sukata parato veha jata nirveda atmaman. Jata nirved. Jata nirved means, jata means takes birth, or nirved means detachment. So detachment takes birth in two ways. Swakat, on your own. Sometimes we are so busy in our family affairs, and all of a sudden there was a fire in the house. Wife got burned in fire. Children got burned in fire. Everything got destroyed. And that person becomes detached. What's the use? Of course, many times they blame the Lord that why Krishna had to do all these things for me. So, usually it is very difficult. Very less people, they become detached on their own. Hardly. If somebody gets a big hit on their brain and if survive their brain hemorrhage, then get detached. But paratoveha, yah sakata paratoveha, either like Vidura, How did he get detached? Let us go back a little bit. Krishna has come to Hastinapur. Now, the battle was already arranged. It was going to happen. But Krishna did not wanted Pandavas to get bad name. Krishna always protects the devotee. So, once when everybody was there and they were ready to fight in battlefield, Krishna suggested, if we can avoid the fighting, that's the best thing. So why don't, we arrange somebody as a messenger to Duryodhana and try to see how we can work out things, how we can discuss and settle everything. After hearing this thing, Arjuna and Bhima became very, very angry. They said, what is there to settle now? We'll settle everything in battlefield now. They all said, let us go. But they are very obedient servant of their master, teacher, or the king. Yudhishthira was a king in every respect. So, Yudhishthira as Dharmaraj, he also agreed with Krishna's proposal. Now question came, who will go to be Sandhidut? Nobody was ready to go. So Krishna said, all right, I will go. So Krishna went to make a truce or a peace as a Sandhidut. And when Krishna was to come there, the crooked Sakuni, he came to Duryodhana and he told Duryodhana, look, you have already blown out once. You have done a great mistake when you and Arjuna approached Krishna. You did not please Krishna. Arjuna pleased Krishna and asked Krishna to be a chariot driver. This time Krishna is coming, so make sure that we don't do any wrong thing. Best thing that you organize everything first class. So it was organized by Duryodhana, first class place to stay, nice chappan bhog and all those things. When Krishna came, he went straightway to Vidura house. Vidura is a great devotee of the Lord. He was Dharmaraj, as we heard, that how he was cursed by Mandupya Muni, and thus he became Vidura. He always followed the religious principle. He was the best friend of Dhritarashtra and Hastinapur. He always gave good advice. He was Suhrid Sakha. The friends are of four kinds. There are four kinds of friends. The first friend is called Sakha. Sakha means Sakhadati iti Sakha. That if we all can eat together from a same plate, that is called Sakha. I don't know in the West, but in India, earlier, all the family members, they used to eat in same plate. Or even if the relative comes, they always eat same plate, or at least they eat together. In English, they say, the family which eats together, lives together. So Sakha means one who can eat together, Sakhadati. Then Mitra. The second class of friend are called Mitra. One who gives mantrana, or one who gives advice or takes advice. Then third is called Suhrid Sakha, well-wisher friend, well-wishing friend. And fourth is called Daita Sakha, like Uddhava was Krishna's Daita Sakha, most dear friend. So there are four kinds of friends. Vidura was Suhrida Sakha. He was a well-wishing friend. He did not care for himself, but he spoke right thing. Just like when time came that between Dhritarashtra and Pandu, who should become the king? According to system, Dhritarashtra was the eldest, so he should be appointed as a king. Pandu was the younger. But Vidura spoke out that a king means he had to be perfect. He is the representative of the Lord. King is known as Naradeva. So he had to be representative of the Lord, means he had to perfect in all sense. And here I see that Dhritarashtra is blind. Physically he is not fit. So how he can be king? Giving this advice to Kuruvanshij was a big thing. But he gave this advice. And that's how Pandu became king. Later on also, time to time, Vidura kept giving advice to them. Now, when Krishna came as the mediator, as a Sandhi Dut, Duryodhana had arranged all fantastic arrangement for eating, residence, etc. But he went straight way to Vidura, who was a devotee of the Lord. And after eating he came, then Duryodhana was surprised. He said, "My dear brother, why did you do that? I had arranged such a chapan bhog for you, everything. Why did you go to Vidura?" So Krishna told to Duryodhana, "My dear Duryodhana, a person goes to eat somewhere or to a person's house in three conditions. First condition, if he is hungry, then he goes. Second one, two conditions. If he is hungry, he goes. Second one is the person who is going to feed you, if he has some love and affection for you. So, both does not apply to me. I am not hungry. I feed whole world. He is Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. He said, I am not hungry, and I know you have no love for me, so there is no question for me to eat at your place. So that really put Duryodhana off. And then, when our mind is off sometime, even good intelligence given, mind is totally blocked. It doesn't go to intelligence. We don't accept that. Jai Shri Sri Radha Nilmada Bhagavan ki jai. We don't accept them in the good advice. So anyway, cut the whole story short. Krishna, in Kuru Rajya Sabha, he advised that what's the use of fighting? In fighting, there will be destruction only. So best thing is, why don't you compromise you all? That's the best thing, to compromise. And you know the Pandavas are not greedy. They are very content. They were in forest for 14 years. They are used to a renounced life, sannyasi life, mendicant life. But they are the king's son. So just simply for 5 brothers, if he give 5 villages, they'll be happy. Duryodhana freaked out. And he said, nothing doing without, you all know what Duryodhana said. After Duryodhana said this thing, Pitama Bhishma was there, Dronacharya was there, Vidura was there. Nobody spoke. But Vidura spoke. But my dear king, because Dhritarashtra was king, not Duryodhana. So one way, Duryodhana has no right to decide. The king can decide whether to accept this proposal or not. So he asked Dhritarashtra, what is your opinion? Because since you are the king, what do you want to see? How do you want to see? And he explained about the war, the destruction from the war, how the woman become the widow, children become fatherless, mother becomes sonless, and what not. And he was about to convince Dhritarashtra, and Duryodhana understood. Thus, he insulted Vidura like anything. And not only he insulted, that was the nature of Duryodhana, to not respect anybody anyway. So, Vidura was used to. But not only that, he asked him to get out from Hastinapur. And when he asked him to get out from Hastinapur, Maharaj Dhritarashtra did not even utter one word. He didn't say anything. And that was a turning point that Vidura decided that my stay in Hastinapur is over. I must leave this place. As Chanakya said, one should not stay at the place where you are not welcome. You should not go to a stay, or you should not stay at the place where you are not welcome. So this is the example of Swakata. On his own, he decided to quit the home. It was Swakata. Parato veha, by somebody's instruction or somebody's preaching. Here Dhritarashtra was so attached. He quit the house, he quit the Hastinapur or his home by instruction of Vidura. So there are 2 examples here. One example of Vidura, he developed renunciation or detachment from Hastinapur by the word of Duryodhana. Sokata. He got disgusted and he left. And Dhritarashtra left by preaching. We all have become devotee by parato veha, by the preaching of somebody else, by Prabhupada books and so on and so forth. So anyway, Vidura understood that nobody can stop the war now. Nobody can stop the war. He saw Vishwarupa of Krishna, he saw everything, and he said, okay, now the Kauravas are doomed. So he decided to leave Hastinapur. In whole Mahabharata war, everyone fought from either one of the side. But 2 gentlemen, 2 personalities, Lord Balaram and Lord Vidura. The 2 of them, they left for pilgrimage. They are not there. So Vidura went all different pilgrimage places. He met great saintly people. He met Uddhava. And he understood that Krishna has left the planet. Krishna has gone. And then Uddhava is the only one who told Vidura that you must hear from Maitreya. And after hearing from Maitreya, after understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, then he came to practice. So it's our duty as a devotee, first and foremost, we must study Srila Prabhupada books. We must understand the philosophy properly. And then we go out and preach. Without understanding the philosophy, without reading Bhagavad Gita, and we go out and distribute Bhagavad Gita, will not bring much effect. Of course, Bhagavad Gita is transcendental, but still. But if you study Bhagavad Gita and go and preach, take one sloka, explain it, that will bring a greater fruit, greater result. So here, Vidura heard from Maitreya about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, and now he wanted to preach. And first person he came to preach was his own brother, Dhritarashtra. That's a real brother. Pitana sasyat, janani sasyat. If anybody who is a relative or one who is related to anybody in any way, he should try to give Krishna consciousness to that person. That's the real meaning of having sambandha or relationship. So Vidura came, and all the inhabitants of Hastinapur, they are so happy to receive Vidura after a long time. The Mahabharata war was fought. Almost everybody was killed. In whole Mahabharata war, only 8 or 9 people survived. 5 Pandavas, they survived. Krishna, of course, is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was not even fighting. So the 5 Pandavas, they survived. And the Kaurav side, 3 survived. No, from Pandava side, I think 5 or 6, 6 survived. Satyaki was also there. So Satyaki and 5 Pandavas. And Kaurav side, Asthama, Kripacharya, and then Kritavarma. Only 3 survived. So 6 or 3, 9 people they survived. And Krishna, of course, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the people who were staying in Hastinapur, like Dhritarashtra and all the women. So when Vidura came, he got a great welcome party by Maharaj Yudhishthir, and everybody welcomed him. After welcoming him, Maharaj Yudhishthir is asking different questions. First, he glorified that although you went to the Tirtha, but pure devotee of the Lord, they do not need to go to Tirtha, because they carry the Supreme Personality of Godhead in their heart. Thus, they are Tirtha personification themselves. They can purify anybody. Darsana pavitra kara e tumar gun. This is the qualification of a Vaishnava. Simply by his audience, one can become purified. Simply by seeing a Vaishnava, one can become purified. So there is no need to go. But why do they go? So he said, Tirtha kurvanti tirthani swantam asten gadadhrita. Because you go to purify the holy places. So the devotee, they go to the holy places just to purify the holy places. Just like when Mother Ganga was descending here, we know the purpose of Ganga. She was coming to purify all the sinful personalities, sinful people. So Ganga said, well, if all these sinful people will take bath in me, all the sin they will live in me, they will get purified. Who will purify me? She asked the question to Brahma, who will purify me? And the Brahma said, the devotee of the Lord, they will take bath in you and they will purify you. So Ganga is Pavitra Nadi. It's a this is river which has come here to purify everybody. But she is also purified by great Vaishnava. Tirtha kurvanti tirthani. So after glorifying, now in this verse he is asking the real thing. And what did he ask? Immediately he jumped on asking about Krishna. And he is devotee. Whenever Prabhupada said, whenever you see Krishna, Krishna is always with devotee. Krishna is never alone. He always has somebody with him. So the apina srivada tata bandhava Krishna devata drishtaha srutava yadavaha sapurya sukhamasate. My uncle, my dear uncle, you must have visited Dwarika. Since he was on tour, so therefore he said, you must have visited Dwarika. In that holy place in Dwarika, our Sruhita Tata, our friend and well-wisher. Suhita is one, and other is Sruhita, well-wisher, and Bandhava means relative. As we know that Yudhishthir and Krishna, they were related. Yudhishthir was son of Kunti and Krishna was son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva and Kunti, their brother and sister. So there was some relation there. So in that way, if we see that for Yudhishthir, Dwarika was like his maternal uncle house, Nanihal in Hindi. So Nanihal is always very dear. I don't know in the West, but in India, when I remember, when I had some trouble at my home, I used to run to my Nanihal. So there you are like worship in Nanihal, like Devata. So this is one thing. Other thing, Suhrda Tata Bandhava, oh my dear uncle, please tell about our well-wisher and friend who resides in Dwarika. And other thing, those people are not ordinary. Somebody may ask, why Yudhishthira to ask to them? He is such a great devotee. Why he had to ask to them? He is not asking because they are his relative or friend like that. But real thing is Krishna Devata. And Prabhupada also in purport starts the purport with the particular word Krishna Devata means those who are always wrapped in the service of Lord Krishna is significant. So this word is very, very important. Krishna Devata. Krishna Devata means the giver or protector. So it has two meanings. One is the Krishna is the only protector of all the Hastinapur, Dwarika Vasi, my all friend and relative. This is one meaning. Other meaning is Krishna Devata is Krishna is only their life and soul. Krishna Devata is separate than one word Krishna Devata. So Krishna Devata means Krishna who is the protector of the residents of Dwarika. And Krishna Devata means Krishna is only life and soul of people in Dwarika. So Krishna was not only Devata or life and soul of Dwarika Vasi, but he was also Devata of Pandavas. So anybody who accepts Krishna as his life and soul, they are 24 hours a day in thought of Krishna. In this way, they are in, rapt in the service of Krishna. This is the way to be, how to remember Krishna always. Sattam asmartavyam Vishnu, vismartavyam na kuchit. The philosophy is, we should always remember Krishna and we should never forget. So what is the best way to remember Krishna? And best way to remember Krishna is engaging our service in service of Krishna. Rapt in service. We are always engaged in service. And when we are engaged in service of Krishna, then we can remember Krishna all the time. So this was not the situation of only people in Dwarika. This was also situation of the Pandavas or Hastinapurvasi. Here Prabhupada in purport towards the last, earlier he talks about Dwarikavasi and about Pandavas. And even he talked about the demons who were also in rapt thought of Krishna. They were always thinking, always Krishna. In Bhagavatam 10th canto it said, the Kansa, he was so Krishna conscious. Even when he sat, he saw Krishna. When he was going to drink water, he saw Krishna. When he was sleeping, he saw Krishna. So he was always Krishna conscious. But his Krishna consciousness was unfavorably. They were not favorable. And then towards the end, Prabhupada talks about Maharaj Yudhishthira. He said, Maharaj Yudhishthira was also always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna and associate at Dwarika. Otherwise, he could not have asked all about them from Vidura. Maharaj Yudhishthira was therefore on the same level of devotion as Vidura, although engaged in state affairs of the kingdom of the world. In fact, it is said about Maharaj Yudhishthira, Apipalaha dharmaraja pitrivattaranjana prabhu nispriha sarvakamebhyo Krishna padanu sevaya. Maharaj Yudhishthira was always wrapped in the service of Lord Krishna. Krishna padanu sevaya. He was always engaged in the service of or thought of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And since he was in thought of Supreme Personality of Godhead, his kingdom was going first class. Krishna was managing his kingdom. Lakshmi ji was managing his kingdom. Prabhupada said that we are not the manager of the temple. Lakshmi ji is the best manager of temple. I'll just read that quote that Prabhupada. The temple is managed by Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi ji. So, why should there be one? Our philosophy is, if anyone come, let him take prasad, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Everything is being supplied by Krishna. Krishna is not poor, so why we should deny them? This should be done at any cost. There is no difficulty if simply requires nice management. At the end of the day, you may sell or give away. If we believe that Krishna is providing and maintaining everything, then why should we be miser? This means losing faith in Krishna and thinking that we are the doer and supplier. We are confident Krishna will supply. Let the whole world come and will feed them. So, Krishna Prabhupada said that the temple is managed by Srimati Radharani. So same way Maharaj Yudhishthira, kingdom was managed by Krishna. In Hindi they say, तुम कृष्ण के नाम में तो कृष्ण तुम्हारे काम में, और तुम अपने काम में तो कृष्ण अपने धाम में. If you are in service of Krishna, then Krishna will take care of your household affairs, your kingdom, everything. But if you get managing all the things, then Krishna will stay in his abode. Why should he bother? So Maharaj Yudhishthir was Krishna Padanu Sevaya. He was always engaged in service of Krishna, and thus his kingdom was managed very nicely. So here, to summarize this verse, Maharaj Yudhishthir is asking Vidura about the well-being of all the Jadavas who are in residents of Hastinapur, who have only one purpose in their life, and that is to serve Krishna or think about Krishna. So he just simply asked, are they staying happily in their beautiful palace in Dwarika? Have you heard it or did you visit there? Of course, we will hear later on what has happened, that Krishna has left the planet. So, Vidura, later on he speaks to Dhritarashtra and he got him out of the house, and then later on Pandavas also they retired. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any question? Comment? Did you go over? Yeah, few minutes over. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for your wonderful class. I really like the point that we shouldn't go where we're not welcome. How can we make the temple more welcoming so people will keep coming?
Prasadam. Give nice prasadam, people will come. Our deity is beautiful, nicely dressed, temple is neat and clean. Give prasadam.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol Prabhu.
If you see the example in Ramayana, Vibhishan surrendered to Ram. Here, Vidura didn't go to Krishna, he went to pilgrimage. What is the reason?
Well, Vibhishan, there is a difference between Ravana and Dhritarashtra or Hastinapur. In Hastinapur, there are many personalities who were, devotee of Krishna, such as Karna was also devotee of Krishna. Vishnu Pitama, Guru Drona, Kripacharya, they are all devotee of Krishna. This is one thing. Whereas in Lanka, Vibhishana was only one devotee. So he wanted to get a shelter. And he knew that if he is, if he goes anywhere else, he never expected that Vibhishana will leave. Ravana never expected that Vibhishana will leave Lanka. And if Vibhishana would go anywhere else, Ravana would have, he was so cruel, he could have got him killed. So Vibhishana wanted a shelter. Thus he went in shelter of Lord Ram. But with Vidura, this was not the situation.
He went to pilgrimage for more than 20 years, but he never went to Krishna.
That was also Krishna's plan. That let him go to pilgrimage, why to come to me? So he went to purify because he was already pure devotee, he wanted to purify everywhere. And just imagine if he had gone to Dwarika and Krishna was leaving the planet, what would have happened to him? So, anyway, this was all. And many things, if Ravana would not have stolen Sita, what would have happened? Many things, that kind of question will come. That's not the proper question to ask. This kind of, your Krishna's desire, this happened. Any other question? All right, so let's stop here. Jai Dhritarashtra Bhagavatam ki jai.